Narayana, 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 Narayana. Most welcome, respected friends, co-sadhakas, co-students of this great literature, Upanishad. What a regularity, sincerity you have, it will pay surely in terms of our becoming more and more clear about the glory of the self and the need and importance of discovering that self will grow in us surely as our intellects get matured inside, as our prarabdhas get exhausted outside, more and more we will be turned towards that eternal immutable. All of this, if we are little more conscious, more careful, will happen surely, certainly, quickly. Once again, welcome. Here we are every day to do our five things: Vedic chanting, common sense thought, Shanti mantra and Sankalpa, Upanishad mantra Ucharanam, Upanishad mantra Adhenam with Bhashyam, Upanishad is Shwethashwathara, Adhyaya is 5, as it is the theme of the Upanishad. In every of the mantra, the Brahma Tattva Mahima, the Atma Tattva Mahima is repeatedly ascertained for us to have very clear understanding, conviction, etc. The Brahma Vidya is always very sukshma. We may study, but we may not remember. That's why repeated exposure to it is a necessary thing. Till it possesses us and we possess it, and then all other possessions of the Maya and Upadhis go away from us. We have to keep on doing this job. And again, while doing this job, don't look at the world outside. The whole world may be in this ajnana moha of samsara, so they need not be our examples. For us, very clear, we have done a lot of punya. Gurus are blessing us, the Lord is blessing us, Shrutimata is blessing us with all the expectation. They are guiding us in this higher truth. Therefore, we have to work on this only. Such people may not be much in the world. Let them all work in the outer world. But our job is internal because we are given this exclusively by the divine. So recognize it and inspire oneself. Choose this. That's the idea. Always, again, the choice is there. Like to everyone in the world, to give up the worldliness and take up spirituality. So to us, give up the spirituality and take up the worldliness. That choice, freedom always is there, but we have to be wise enough to know which is greater, which is nobler, which is diviner, which is ultimate, which is to be held and which is to be given. And for our understanding, how many lives, how much we might have struggled. Details we may not know. The result of which is here now we are able to at least come regularly to the Shravana of the Paramatattva. I know it's a result of so much of struggles we have gone through. Not an easy thing. You can guess it how much struggle we are now going through to be regular, to study Shastra at home, to do the sadhana. वो नेक्स्ट स्टेजेस के लिए कितना मुश्किलात हो रहा है उसका अर्थ ये है कि जिस स्टेज में हम अब पहुंचे हैं उसके लिए भी we have gone through lots of struggles and sacrifices and reached a good state that studying Shastras is any day noble. So respect that our own achievement, value it, and make use of it for going further only, evolving further only, not giving it up inadvertently for any reasons. Right, friends? Here we are, Vedic chanting, Rigveda, 10th mandala. Then we are into 93rd of the Anuvakas. 93 we do, 94 we do. If the time permits, we go to the 95th also. Start. Om Athaveda Parayanam Rigvedaha Dashama Mandalam Trinavatitama Anuvakadarabhya Om Mahidhyava Prithvi Bhutamurvi Nari Yahvi Narodasi Sadannaha Devirnaha Patam Sahyas Evirnaha Patam Shushane यज्ञे यज्ञे समर्त्यो देवान् सपर्यते यः सुम्नैर्दीर्घश्रुत्तम आविवासत्येनान् विश्वेशामिरज्जवो देवानां वारुमहः विश्वे हि विश्वमहसो विश्वे यज्ञेषु यज्ञियाः ते घाराजानो अमृतस्य मन्द्रा अर्यमा मित्रो वरुणः परिङ्मा कद्रुद्रो नृणां स्तुतो मरुतः पूषणो भगः उत नो नक्तमहं वृषण्वसु सूर्यामासा सदनाय सदन्या स चायत्साद्येषा महिर्बुध्नेषु बुध्न्यः उत नो देवावश्विना शुभस्पति धामभिर्मित्रावरुणा उरुष्यताम् महस्सराय एष तेति धन्वेव दुरिता उत नो रुद्राचिन्मृळतामश्विना विश्वे देवासो रथस्पतिर्भगः ऋभुर्वाजऋभुक्षण परिङ्मा विश्ववेदसः ऋभुर्रुभुक्षा ऋभुर्विदतो मद आते हरिजूजुवानस्य वाजिन दुष्टरं यस्य सामचिद्रुधग्यज्ञो न मानुषः हृदेनो अह्रयो देवसवितः स च स्तुषे मघोनां सहो न इन्द्रो वह्निभिर्न्येषां चर्षणीनां चक्रं रश्मिं न यो युवे ऐषुद्या वा पृथिवी धातं महदस्मे वीरेषु विश्वचर्षणिश्रवः पृक्षं वाजस्य सातये पृक्षं रायोत तुर्वणे एतं शंसमिन्द्रास्मयष्युष्ट्वं कूचित् सन्तं सहसा वन्नभिष्टये सदा पाह्यभिष्टये मेदतां वेदतावसो एतं मे स्तोमं तनान सूर्ये द्युतद्यामानं वावृधन्तं नृणाम् संवननं नाश्व्यं तष्टेवानपच्युतं वावर्तयेषां राया युक्तैषां हिरण्यये नेमधिता न पौंस्यावृतेव विष्टान्त प्रतद्दुःषीमे पृथवाने वेने प्ररामे वोचमसुरे मघवत्सो ये युक्त्वा यपञ्चशतास्मयु पथा विश्राव्येषाम् अधीन्वत्र सप्ततिञ्च सप्त च सद्योदिदिष्टतान्वः सद्योदिदिष्टपार्थ्यः सद्योदिदिष्टमायवः 94 प्रैते वदन्तु प्रवयं वदामग्रावभ्यो वाचं वदतावदद्भ्यः यदद्रयः पर्वताः साकमाशवश्लोकं घोषं भरतेन्द्राय सोमिनः एते वदन्ति शतवत्सहस्रवदभिक्रन्दन्ति हरितेभिः रासभिः विष्ट्वीग्रावाणः सुकृतः सुकृत्य याहोतुश्चित् पूर्वे हविरद्यमाशत एते वदन्त्यविदन्न नाम दुन्यों खम्यन्ते अधिपक्व आमिषे वृक्षस्य शाखामरुणस्य वप्सतस्ते सुभर्वा वृषभाः प्रेमराविशुः बृहद्वदन्ति मदिरेण मन्दिनेन्द्रं रोषन्तो विदन्ननामधो संरभ्याधीराः स्वश्रुभिरनर्तिषुरा घोषयन्तः पृथिवीमुपब्धिभिः सुपर्णावाचमक्रतोपद्यव्याकरे कृष्णा इशिरा अनर्तिषुः न्यङ्नियन्त्युपरस्य निष्कृतं पुरोरेतो दधिरे सूर्यश्विधः उग्रा इव प्रवहन्त समायमुस्साकं युक्ता वृषणो बिभ्रतो धुरः यच्छ्वसन्तो जग्रसाना हराविषुः शृण्व येषां प्रोथतो अर्वतामिव दशावनिभ्यो दशकक्ष्येभ्यो दशयोक्त्रेभ्यो दशयोजनेभ्यः दशाभीषुभ्यो अर्चताजरेभ्यो दशधुरो दशयुक्तावहद्भ्यः ते अद्रयो दशयन्त्रास आशवस्तेषा माधानं पर्येति हर्यथम् त ऊसुतस्य सौम्यस्यान्दसोंशोः पीयूषं प्रथमस्य भेजिरे ते सोमादो हरि इन्द्रस्य निंसतेंशं दुहन्तो अध्यासते गवी तेभिर्दुग्धं पपिवान् सौम्यं मध्विन्द्रो वर्धते प्रथते वृषायते वृषावो अंशुर्नखिलारिषाथनेडावन्त सदमित्स्तनाशिताः रैवत्येव महसाचारव स्तनयस्य ग्रावाणो अजुषध्वमध्वरम् द्रुतृदिला अत्रुदिलासो अद्रयोश्रमण अश्रुथिता अमृत्यवः अनातुरा अजराः स्तामविष्णव सुपीवसो अतृषिता अतृष्णजः ध्रुवा एव वः पितरो युगे युगे क्षेमकामास सदसो न युञ्जते अजुर्यासो हरिषाचो हरिद्रव आद्यां रवेण पृथिवीमशुश्रवुः तदिद्वदन्त्यद्रयो विमोचनेयामन्नञ्जस्पा इव मेदुपब्धिभिः इव पब्धिभिः ववन्तो बीजमिव धान्याकृतः पृञ्चन्ति सोमं न मिनन्ति बप्सतः सुते अध्वरे अधिवाचमक्रता क्रीडयोऽसं न मातरन्तु दन्तः विशोमुञ्चासु शुभुषो मनीषां विवर्तन्ताम् अद्रयश्चायमानाः. One more. 95. हये जाये मनसा तिष्ठ घोरे वचांसि मिश्रा कृणवावहैनो वसनौ मन्त्रा ननौ मन्त्रा अनुदिता स एते मयस्करस्परतरे च नाहन् किमेता वाचा कृणवातवाहं प्राक्रमिषमुषसामग्र्येव पुरूरवः पुनरस्तं परे हि दुरावनावात इवाहमस्मे इषुर्न श्रिय इषुदेरसना घोषाः शतसानरं हि अवीरे क्रतौ विदविद्युत्पन्नो तन्नोरा न मायुं चितयन्त धुनयः सा वसुदधतीश्वशुराय वय उषो यदि पश्यन्ति गृहाद् हस्तन्ननक्षे यस्मिन् चाकन्दिवानक्तं श्नथिता वैतसेन त्रिस्ममाह्नः श्नथयो वैतसेनो नो तस्म मे व्यत्यै पृणासे पुरोरवोऽनुते केतमायं राजा मे वीरतन्वस्तदासीः यासु जूर्णिः श्रेणिः सुम्नापिर्हृदे चक्षुर्न ग्रन्थिनी चरण्योः ता अञ्जयो ऋणयो न सस्रुः श्रिये गावो न धेनवो न वन्त समस्मिन् जायमान आसतग्ना उतेमवर्धन्नद्य गगस्वगूर्ताः महेयत्वा पुरोरभोरणाया वर्धयन्तस्युहत्याय देवाः स चायदा सुजहतीष्वत्क ममानुषीषु मानुषो निषेवे अपस्ममत्तरसन्ति न भुज्युस्ता अत्र संरतस्पृशो नाश्वाः यदा सुमर्तो अमृतासु निःस्पृक्षं क्षोणिभिः क्रतुभिर्न पृङ्क्ते ता आतयो न तन्वः शुम्भतस्वा अश्वासो न क्रीडयो दन्दशानाः विद्युन्नया पतन्ति दविद्योद्भरन्ति मे अप्याकाम्यानि जनिष्ठो अपोनर्यः सुजातः प्रोर्वशीतिरत दीर्घमायुः जग्निश इत्ता गोपेत्याय हि ददात तत् पुरूरवो म ओजः अशासन्त्वा विदुषी सस्मिन्न हन्नम आशृणोः किमभुग्वदासि तदा सोनुप्यतरञ्जात इच्छाचक्रन्नाश्रु वर्तयद्विजानन् कोदम्बदे समनसा वियूयो दधयदग्नि श्वशुरेषु दीदयत् प्रतिब्रवाणि वर्तयते अश्रुचक्रन्न क्रन्ददाध्ये शिवायै प्रदत्ते हि न वायत्ते अस्मे परे ह्यस्तं न हि मूरमावः सुदेवो अद्य प्रपतेदनावृत्परावतं परमाङ्गन्तवाऊ अधाशयीत निर्ऋतेरुपस्थे धैनं मृकारवसो असो अद्युः पुरोरवो मामृधा मा प्रपस्तो मा त्वावृकासो अशिवास उक्षन् न वैस्त्रैणानि सख्यानि सन्ति सालावृकाणां हृदयान्येता यद्विरूपाचरं मर्त्येष्ववसन् रात्रिः शरदश्चतस्रः घृतस्य स्तोकं सकृदः न आश्नां ता देवेदन्तातृपाणादरामि अन्तरिक्षप्रां रजसो विमानीमुप शिक्षाम्युर्वशीं वसिष्ठः उपत्वारातिः सुकृतस्य तिष्ठान्निवर्तस्व हृदयं तप्यते मे इति त्वा देवा इम आहुरैडयते मे तत् भवसि मृत्युबन्धुः प्रजाते देवान् हविषाय जाति स्वर्ग उत्वमपि मादयासि ॐ शान्तिः 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 Wonderful Vedocharanam. Every day is a fulfillment in itself. Good. Friends, in today's common sense thought, yes, today is our Bharata Swatantra Dinotsavam, Independence Day. For us, day we got Swatantrata from the foreign rule, 79th Independence Day, 78 years completed, entering into 79th. So 1947, August 14 midnight they went, August 15th we got. So 53 plus 25, 78 years are lived by us with independence. So in this, so many things which consciously we have to remind ourselves, even though we know. First and foremost, again and again, and at least today's day, and whenever it is required, we have to remember the great sacrifices of the our forefathers, our elders, because of whose work or sacrifice that we got this swatantrata from all these Britishers and rulers. What an amount of work they have done, gave up their prana, sukha, bhoga, everything they gave up. Then only we could get it. Otherwise, till now, the slavery would have continued. We don't know. So, our prayers, our gratitudes should be there for all their great sacrifices. Every one of them we have to thank, we have to pray for. Second is these great heroic sacrifices of the great masters or great or freedom fighters have to be remembered by us for our inspiration and should continuously be imparted for the generations. In that, the two very important aspects they have to be discussed with them is always we say one is why we lost that independence or that freedom. Why did we become slaves? Very crucial topic it is. to be exhaustively discussed and told to our youth, our children, so that those mistakes they won't do. And why did they come? How did they attack? How did they conquer us? We are such a good number in population and all. Which were the things where we were lacking? And for such a long period, everybody comes and attacks our Bharat Mata. And the Mughals come and occupy and rule for such a long time. Rubbish it is. And the small little countries, अरे हम थूक दें तो उसमें चले आते हैं वो. How come this Dutch and French and all stupid fellows, they can rule us? What a shame it is, isn't it? And what is the Dutch Holland? कितना बड़ा है वो देश हो? One district of India. But then you see, so where we were disintegrated, where we became selfish, where we become lazy, lethargic, where we lost the plot, what happened? You know, all of those have to be taught to our youth, our children, so that those mistakes they won't do. That's the one point to be explained to them time and again. They forget. They have to be told. And we as elders, we also must remember and see to it that such nonsense doesn't happen. Again, the second one is how we got the freedom. Why we lost the freedom and how we lost it and how we got it back. Both the things have to be thoroughly taught, consciously taught by all means that it should remain in their hearts all the time. This is the first thing as an Independence Day today we can remember or remind ourselves of. Second is, yes, definitely we got the Swatantrata from the Paratantrata. Good 79 years have passed. So we got the country into our hands. But still, how many things in which we are still in slavery? From them also, we have to fight out to get the freedoms. That's the job of the post independence people. People are trying, leaders are trying, and everybody should know that responsibility. Everybody should contribute for it beautifully and dutifully, rather. More is dutifully. So, the freedom from the financial slavery, economic slavery, the poverty aspect. From 47 up to 1995, we were also in a very poor state. Good that from then onwards, last 25, 30 years, all Indians started working, you know, gave up that laziness, etc. So little better we have become. We have become sound. And we claim to be third economy in the whole world, or fourth now, wants to become third. But at the individual level also we have to see. Not only in the big cities and towns, but even in the remote villages also, nobody should be in the bondage of lack of finances and lack of minimum necessary amenities. It's not only the government's job, it is every one of our job. What we can do is keep sending those sankalpas, keep sending those prayers. In our level, whatever is that can be done, we should do for that economic independence. Not even one Indian, any nook and corner, should suffer even one time for the lack of food. Means the financial independence. Lack of food is equal to food, clothing, shelter, medication, education. तो इन पांच चीजों के लिए कहीं भी किल्लत ना हो. That is the second freedom or independence the India, the country, should aim at in all of us. Me in my own place, I must think and do what best I can do. So one independence we got. Second, this is what we have to aim at. And mind you, any of these independences, freedoms cannot be said that I got it. They have to be continuously maintained and managed. And like I got freedom from Britishers, not we have to maintain. Otherwise, no gadhelo again they may attack us, isn't it? In the same way, this is a continuous, constant management. Constantly, we have to work on that thing. You can never give it up at all. In fact, giving up our efforts is giving up being human. To be a human, only insignia is to be always effortful. And the effort is in this second freedom of, we say, Arthika Swatantrata, in that all we included roti, kapda, makan, dawa, or education, isn't it? And as it comes to education, why Indians should go to other countries for study and how long? The better than that our universities should be. You know, in fact, in those universities only, our Indians only are becoming the professors. अब क्यों जा रहे हैं वहां? उनको यहाँ बुला लो. Is it not one of the biggest reason for which the brain drain is happening and all our Indians are going foreign में youth for education? काहे को? Why not in India? So that should be the aim. Medicine wise, we are best now. We can export to hundreds of countries because of lots of good freedoms given, experiments done, hard works done, etc. But education may we have to top in all educational systems so that even foreigners should want to come and study. Big foreigners, not Kenya, Uganda, Nigeria. They anyway will come with drugs. No, we want even Americans, Britishers to want to join Indian universities. We have to aim at that so that in that front also the India becomes freedom. Otherwise, every youth in India in school, college, bas, they want to go to foreign. अबे क्या है उधर? Why not in India? Indian government and all of us should aim at that even others should aim at coming here. Isn't it? Otherwise, it's a very painful thing that we go there, we send our youth. Our Indians are so much neglected there, on the color basis or whatever it is. Nobody, they that way, अब तो सुधर गया 10-15 साल से because of the good government and all. But otherwise, we are looked down upon so much. How they hate you, Indian, get out of the country. See the other day, 4 days back. Why you should go begging to that nation? Whatever you need, you do it here. That way is our real respect and reverence to our nation. First thing after independence. Second one is we have to find the total cultural independence. A big subject it is, but in short, it is what basically India stands for. Its cultures, its traditions, its values, its celebrations, its Vedic parampara. In that again now we have to rebuild completely. And along with managing, maintaining the competence in the scientific field and all of that, वो तो चलना ही रहेगा, चलता ही रहना नहीं तो we will be lagging behind in that in the world. उसमें आगे बढ़ते ही रहेंगे. At the same time, what basically the Bharat Mata stands for. Thank God, compared to many countries, our country still holds on to our culture, traditions, spirituality, etc. Thanks to so many of spiritual masters, giants, and so many volunteers like you all. And in many countries, it is not. How many countries the Britishers have gone and then destroyed their culture completely? The entire African nations have lost their tradition, culture because of their invasion. That way, India is better. How many rascals have come, ruled our nation? Still, the basics we have not given up. Yet, on the name of secularism, etc., and so many of the other reasons, up to the mark, it's not there. Our expectation is the government only should take full responsibility without fear that Bharata stands for the Sanatana Dharma. Sanatana Dharma talks about these things, and they are taught in these ways by our masters, and they have to be given the due value. Sanatana Dharma Shastras should become a definite subject to be studied and definitely to be passed right from class 3 or 4, isn't it? And in that search, research, Sarkar karna chahiye. Why only volunteers? A big department should be there, hugest, which finds all the glories of our the scriptural spiritual values and the reasons behind them. इधर उधर कोई कोई कर रहे नहीं. सरकार को it should invest crores of rupees, start tens of universities. Why only spiritual organizations should start universities and colleges and struggle to maintain them with all fears? Why can't the government do? If the government takes it up, it will be beautiful. Yes, we have very tough opposition, very in the country, in the politics only. Those are against our own country's growth, who hate our India, Hinduism, Sanatana. We only elected them and sent them as MPs. That's the biggest problem for any country. That in the power you have those who hate our own nation, who act to be and lovers of the country, but behind they want the power only to suppress the India's growth, the Sanatana Dharma's growth. You all know that. So that mistake rectify karte hue at the total level. Let the country show to the world how our ancestors have shown us the inner, mainly the way of glorious and grandeur life, along with outer things. This is called as the cultural freedom which we have to bring up. Then the third freedom, very essential, is this only a part of it. Come what may, how much ever materialistically we may grow, still the Indians should not become materialistic. They must always be in spirituality rooted only. That freedom also you have to maintain. Again, for that, the work is happening, but it can be improved upon. Avana? The capable great people should bring all their capacities into function. Those who are still less capable, they have to increase their capabilities and work in these fronts also. Hana? Let every Indian be rooted in Adhyatmikata. As I am the spiritual seeker first. Hana? This is the third one as regards the freedom of Bharata Mata is concerned. Now, the second aspect is what? It's not only the Indian independence we talk about, we have to expand it to the total, our thinking should be at the ultimate level. That's a real Indian way of thinking. The whole cosmos has to find its freedom and independence from whatever the negative slavery is. The whole universe has to be freed from all the bondages. The whole globe has to be freed in whatever the things we have discussed now. A global culture is there, a global spirituality, global finances, the whole earth. Why only India? All the entire globe, the entire Bhumata must be free from whatever the problems. That is a true freedom. Mind you, just like in a family, one person gets freedom is not a freedom. The entire family members have to find. In the same way, our country is one member of the entire globe. So one member is freed. Does it mean that all others are freed? No, no. So therefore, aim at this wisdom of the globe, the continent, and every nation has to be truly freed from whatever the bondages are it's going through. That outlook, that togetherness, that thought, that prayer, and that effort, whatever we can do. Isn't it? So many nations are bound by the natural calamities. So others can help. So many nations are bound by the what do you say, the famine or the lack of food, etc. Even now, it's so much of science, everything growing. At least 50, 70 countries are there जहाँ पूरा भोजन नहीं मिलता लोगों को. Then how can I call myself as human being? That when I say see the co-traveler in this on the globe is suffering with food, that is not the right way. The higher aim that way. See the imagine karo, if all the big nations think in this line and focus on that, Will there be any other intranational issues or international issues of wars and fightings? Always remember, at the individual level or national, international, intercontinental level, wherever, whenever, the higher, nobler goals, ambitions are not there. The lower ones possess us. And in the lower ones, we become selfish, we become egoistic. That is enough to create all problems, to fight with each other and destroy. Very many subtle thoughts are in that. Now I'll not find it as a time to discuss much. But the idea is what? At the global level, you know, beautiful. The human mind is thinking. But then again and again, a group of leaders come who are again very low and mean and selfish for a period of time, because of which all those noble visions fail. Again, a great leaders come in all the countries. When they come together for some time, again those visions appear to be realized or made. है ना? The United Nations कहिएगा, the NATO's or BRICS, all of these coming together is good, but let it be for the goodness and growth of the whole world. अब UN is so weak, देखो, because of the domination of some stupid, arrogant nations. That should not be the way. That's called as a global freedom. We should think in the terms of global freedom, wherein everybody is given food, education, medication, and then the opportunities to grow. That's a true freedom. नहीं तो मुश्किल होगा ना फिर. मैं ग्रो कर रहा हूँ, वो नहीं कर रहा, तो फिर मजा नहीं आता इस जगत में. Tomorrow that fellow will suppress me and I will. It's not. Anytime you think about it, it is not an individual's problem. It should never be thought as one nation's problem. They are narrow visions. It's a whole global problem. That way we have to visualize. टोटलिटी से दृष्टि से देखकर सबके फ्रीडम के लिए हमें काम करना. That's what the meaning of उदार चरितानाम तो वसुधैव कुटुंबकम. So the freedom we have to bring in that way. Second point. And the third one, as it was touched a little more we'll talk on, that is what is again at the total humanity level freedom, that we are slaves now to all the upadhis. We are slaves now to all the bhogadis, because of which all the dignity of being human is forgotten. We are falling to what an unexpected lower levels. Individually also, totally also. Whole world is now slave for materialism. The whole science is working on that. All countries sit together with all their suit, boot, coat in all big AC rooms, etc., only to discuss about how materialistically we have to succeed. We have to grow more and more. The more materialistically we succeed, the more we are growing in our slavery to our own upadhis. This is the true. Here, the India can take the lead. The Indian masters can take the lead. They are ready. Somehow, the government has to do something for it, and the other countries also have to recognize. Isn't it? If freedom from the Bhautika Vada is the real freedom. नहीं तो उससे क्या होगा? The more materialism grows, the more our upadhi tadatmya and slavery grows. Then adds to our continuous, constant, uncalled for miseries. We are talking at the individual level. Then the more materialism grows between the individuals, between the communities, between the nations, always there will be yuddha, 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 yuddha. है ना? भौतिकवाद बढ़ने से देशों के बीच में युद्ध बढ़ता है. यू कांट अवॉइड. थर्ड वन, द मोर वी कम भौतिकवादी, द मोर वी destroy the nature, trouble the nature, the higher forces. Now those higher forces are not dull, inert as we are taught. No, they also are living dynamic things. When the moment they watch that we became more selfish and bhogi and materialist, and destroying those natures, each of them will start taking revenge. And the revenge when the Prakriti takes, it is so catastrophic. And we are such a blinded fellows, you and I, that nowadays last 10-15 years से तो बार बार प्रकृति हमें दिखा रही है कि हम क्या क्या गलतियां कर रहे हैं by punishing us seriously severely, yet we are not learning. It's both. The whole nation, globe has to think about, every individual has to think about. Like I have to think that it is my bhautikavada that I am needing or wanting so many of materialistic things. For my sake, the whole Prakriti is disturbed and she is taking revenge. You understand in last 50-40 years how much of the deforestation done? How much was the plantation occupied the globe just in 1940s, 50s? Around 78-80%. Now you know what is the amount? Only 39%. मतलब क्या हुआ? पिछले 40 सालों में या 50 सालों में 30% of forest we have destroyed. All over the globe we are talking. Now when that is done, then the Prakriti will take revenge. On forest में not only human we here on the cities, in them so many animals, so many other jivas also are living and they are growing. They're all made to suffer just because of we the human selfishness. So it will take revenge. You know that why in this उत्तराखंड में उत्तरकाशी में कहो या yesterday in the Kashmir में कहो, why that cloud bursts are happening, why floods are happening. It's not just accidental. There is sensitivity in the Prakriti. It responds accordingly. What negative we do, they'll trouble us. See, the most troubled nation in the world nowadays, natural calamities, Drushti says China. How much they are destructive towards the Prakriti on the name of developing the materialistic things. कोई जंगलों को नहीं छोड़े, पहाड़ों को नहीं छोड़े, हर एक चीज को अपने भोग भोग के लिए यूज करना. रिमेंबर, from outside for the human beings to look at, it looks to be beautiful, it looks to be wonder, but how much you are harming the prakriti because of that, it's a very important thing. So the earthquakes are coming, the floods are coming, the cloud bursts are happening. How come it is? Why? The pandemics, the endemics, it's all because of the Bhautikavada promoted. First at my own level by my mind, which I support, then my family will promote, then my society is promoting, my nation is promoting, the whole world is promoting the Bhautikavada, for which the Prakriti has to be troubled, the other living beings are troubled, the Devatas are troubled. और चुप क्यों बैठेंगे भाई? ये सिर्फ ह्यूमन बीइंग का जागीर नहीं है पूरा दुनिया. We are only one part of creation, that's it. We are not all in all. There are so many other living beings equally sacred. They also have the right to stay here. We just claim that we are superior. It's like America claiming always we are superior. You are chor log tum to gade. You are most criminal fellows, but they think they are superior. Uska audacity देखो, who look like they are great. All other countries they just see as if they are not human beings only. लेकिन ऐसे इंडिया में भी होता है, कुछ स्टेट्स अपने आप को तीसमार खान समझते हैं. And in each state, some castes are there who think they are superior. अरे ये सब बकवास है. In everyone there is a divinity same. In the expression, everybody is their own state are great only. Which part of my body is important? What a stupid question. Every part together मिलकर शरीर बनता है. Each one is important in its own place, isn't it? So too the universe में. We are planets को भी हम डिस्टर्ब कर रहे हैं. Therefore, the planetary movement also in such a manner that it is taking its revenge. हाँ, ग्रहों का, they are not inert things, ना. We trouble the planets, we trouble the Adhisthana Devatas, we trouble the Prakriti, we trouble all the other living beings at our time. See that in that oceans may all the aquatic animals बेचारा because of the excessive pollution वो लोग इतने तड़प रहे बाबा अंदर उनका टेम्परेचर लेवल्स वेरिड हो रहे बार बार नॉट वन टू hundreds and thousands of ships and steamers and all they go in the ocean and leave so much of emissions etc how much it is destroying the whole thing and all is because your and my bhautikavad and we glorify it as the globe is or the earth is or the humanity is growing we are destroyed human growth is in remaining contented at the materialistic level and aiming at the spiritual goal उसको पूरा उल्टा कर रहे हैं so in this way the freedom from this wrong concept of there is sukha in the bhautika vishayas has to be gained at the national and international global level. Otherwise, the more and more the humanity will, in its own intelligence and arrogance and stupidity and innocence, will trouble all other powers and forces. In turn, they also will take revenge. Definitely. And when they take revenge, it is unbelievable. अब देखो छोटे छोटे थोड़े थोड़े हो रहे हैं. It's a sample. कि if you don't stop now, we will also show our power. Isn't it? If the oceans want to meet each other, पूरा पृथ्वी ही डूब जाएगा उसमें. Let us become sensitive for all of that in its true sense. And be practical. और बड़े बड़े ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस बना के बड़े बड़े मीटिंग्स तो करते हो तुम. एंड अनेक अनेक पॉइंट्स डिस्कस करते हो boasting to be intelligent. But when it comes to practicality, it's zero. Isn't it? And as we saw it yesterday only in our common sense thought, more than what to do to find the remedies to all these problems, what we have to think in lines is what are the causes because of which these problems are coming, which we should avoid. Both of them go in complementation. क्या है ना पॉजिटिव करते जाओ भी उतना इम्पोर्टेंट है नेगेटिव छोड़ते जाओ भी उतना इम्पोर्टेंट today is the time of giving up negative is important because so many negatives we are doing at the same time keep on doing the positives also दोनों होते हैं नेगेटिव नहीं छोड़े तो पॉजिटिव नहीं हो पाता पॉजिटिव नहीं करोगे तो नेगेटिव नहीं छूटता in each period of history need of doing positive more there to eliminate the negative need of giving up the negative is there to do the positive today slowly you have to get out of many negatives to take up the positive so not only the big meetings and crores of rupees just spent for that practically kya karna hai you know we do the show off more than being practical in being practical no the things are very simple thoda thoda छोटा like I keep my house clean I keep my body clean I keep my mind and intellect clean I keep my intentions clean I do my व्यवहार clean उतना कर दो ऐसे एक एक बंदा करता जाए the total etherical or subtler impurities of the world will go away which are drastically affecting the gross world इस तरह से the real freedom is that one. In fact, we are bound only with the freedom. India has become more bound to materialism. है कि नहीं अभी? In which of the families they are sitting together and properly celebrating all festivals and every day their puja upasana. Struggle हो रहा है. Many Mahatmas, many spiritual organizations are trying. But they are also again in their own struggle of maintenance and competition with each other. वो भी थोड़ा सा मैनेज करना पड़ता है so today's swatantrata dinotsava we have to think about the swatantrata in all aspects and last but not the least what we are doing the real freedom is freedom from our own avidya ajnana freedom from our own Jivosmi Dehosmi. Isn't it? That's the real independence. When we discover Aham Brahmasmi, then only there is total mukti. Freedom is mukti only, no? So we talk every day about our real freedom only. है ना? And never ever anybody can take rest till that inner Atma freedom is gained. Means realization of the infinite self happens and we transcend all the finitude. With all the outer freedoms, still we are bound to our upadhis as a jiva only. Na? And then the struggle is going on. अब देखो साइंस जितना भी ग्रो करे इंडिविजुअल का दुख नहीं जाएगा क्योंकि समस्या इधर है. We are bound to our upadhis. And why? Because of the avidya. That's it. And the way is what? Vidya. इसलिए सा विद्या या विमुक्तये only through आत्मविद्या the true mukti comes. मैं तो कहता हूँ सारा साइंटिफिक एजुकेशन सब बंद करो, सबको उपनिषद पढ़ाओ, लेट एवरीबडी फर्स्ट रियलाइज द सेल्फ. Isn't it? En route to realizing the self only, all the yoga siddhis will come with which whatever little bit sukha bhoga are there, they can be gained. It is very highly theoretical, I know it. In today's world, it is least practical, but still, that being the ultimate truth, we being in this uh, seva given by the God, if we don't talk about it, who else will talk? So, Bharat Mata got the freedom, 79 years, good. But in what are the other sectors? We have to get freedom and how to protect ourselves to continuously to be in that freedom, not allow again to become slave. Second was at the global level also we have to think about the freedom. At the universal level, at the cosmic level also. We have to start thinking at that big level. Only India can think. Third one is what the true freedom is. The freedom from the upaditadatmya alpa jivana. Nirupadika ananta jivana only is mukta jivana. So till atma anubhava comes, nobody is free. We are all bound on. And then these things of nonsense of one country attacking the other and occupying it and ruling it, ये सारा nonsense को भी stop करना है. Isn't it? It all starts with a thought. If the thought is noble, I tell you, if the intention is pure, definitely the solutions are revealed. And thought and intentional purity is what? Live and let live. Come out of our own ego selfishness, then think solutions will just come in front. मजा आता है. So once again, Swatantrata Divas ka Shubhabhinandana and just feel those years of struggle by our Bharatiyas कि कितने लोगों ने उन गोलियों को झेलकर शरीर त्याग किए हैं, अपने कंफर्ट्स छोड़े हैं, नारे लगाए हैं, हर तरह का युद्ध किया. Remember it. Thank them, pray to them and all. And last but not least is today also our country needs, country every one of us need the true patriotism. Because as we just to finding our India to be in good position in the world, suddenly from nowhere and everywhere, the countries have become our bitter enemies to suppress us and trouble us. It's again another freedom fight, if you ask me. The suppressions of the America, the threatenings of the Pakistan, the cunning ways of the China, again to enslave Bharat. Every individual has his job. Yeah, be practical. As the other day, the Prime Minister has given a call, ban all the foreign goods so that our forex Indian money doesn't go to other nations and we remain self-sufficient so that they know. जो फ्रीडम फाइटिंग है ना स्वदेशी मूवमेंट में ना जो आंदोलन किया था दूसरे देश के चीजों का परित्याग वाला इट्स इफेक्ट वाज सो पावरफुल दैट टाइम यू नो व्हाट वाज दैट मोमेंट आई एम नॉट रिमेम्बरिंग नाउ दूसरे देश की चीजों का बहिष्कार करते हुए दिस इज अ नीड ऑफ द आवर We cannot, as Indians, be sleepy towards this. नहीं तो देखते देखते that fellow will become more arrogant and others will join him and they try to corner us, then we become weak. I to tell you, learn from China and Russia. You know, how the Russia, single country, not allowing the entire, the NATO and all of them to suppress it. Powerful decision. Indian government can be like that if all Indians pray and force the government to be strong that way. For that, we have to be strong. Deshiya bas. Same way from the China. China's not cunning ways, but how they work hard for their own country. They don't have the Google, they have their own country's thing. Now India is also started, what is the name? New one, our own Google car alternative. No, China doesn't have to bend before any country. वो बहुत सारे चीजों में इंडिपेंडेंट isn't that is required. उसका भी एक हद होता है बट फिर भी then only we won't become slave to others. What we are saying is Indians have to now be alert not to lose the freedom now of our growth, which is being blocked by all these countries. And what they do is correct from their standpoint. Not doing correct by ourselves is not correct. What is correct for us, we must know and do that. Isn't it? And so many things. All of us, in totality, we have to pray. मैं तो कहता हूँ आज के दिन द एंटायर इंडिया एवरी इंडिविजुअल शुड टेक ए शपथ कि हम सोचना शुरू करेंगे, प्रे करना शुरू करेंगे, प्रयत्न करना शुरू करेंगे कि our भारत should not bend in front of any nation for any reason, whatever the threats they do, threatenings. It's a need of the hour. You know that whole world, how the politics, geopolitics are changing every day. Yeah? That meeting today or tomorrow होगा. हम ना कुछ नहीं होगा करके नहीं छोड़ना. That's an insult to our intellect. Intellect's job is always to become alert, to think about the future consequences and keep changing the present strategies. It's that इसीलिए तो दिमाग दिया गया ना. So we Indians have to be very alert in every front wherever the actions have to be taken should be taken. The elders should decide, the youth should follow. नहीं तो फिर से हम वही स्लेवरी में चले जाएंगे. नहीं फिर से फिर एक बार चले जाते ना, अगेन टू कम आउट इट टेक्स लॉट ऑफ टाइम, लॉट ऑफ पेन, लॉट ऑफ स्ट्रगल्स, लॉट ऑफ sacrifices. I'm not talking vaguely. I know what I am saying. And you all also know. Isn't it? Where we are going wrong in our international strategies within the nation, which are the wrong elements that are there, which are blocking, how to eliminate them, ये सब बड़ा सोचना पड़ता है हमको, है ना? नहीं तो फिर हम वो प्लॉट एंड प्लॉय में अगर डिफीट हो गए, अगेन वी हैव टू बिकम सप्रेस्ड नेशन इन द होल ग्लोब. वो होने नहीं देना. ये आज के इस जनरेशन के हाथ में. थोड़ा सा भोग आदि दूर रखो, सोचो थोड़ा कि किस तरह से भारत पे इकोनॉमिक अटैक किया जा रहा है ना? उसको कैसे झेले, हाउ टू विन ओवर दैट वन. देखो बहुत बार आई एम गुड, आई एम ऑनेस्ट, वो सफिशिएंट नहीं होता. along with goodness and honesty, we have to be very smart, intelligent, aggressive also to take steps whenever the time calls. This is the time now. कुछ कुछ ruthless decisions लेना है. Not like this one. If all Indians for 1 month stop using all the foreign made goods, all their economy will become down. Practically we have to do. बट वी टेक इट वेरी लाइटली फॉर ग्रांटेड. ठीक है स्वामी जी, ये सुनने को मजा आता है, लेकिन तो हमको वही फॉरेन गुड्स ही चाहिए. फिर वी आर, दिस इज हाउ वी आर मेकिंग अवर कंट्री स्लेव. रियली बहिष्कार करके देखो 1 2 3 महीने के लिए, ऑनेस्टली. सच 140 crores of people, in fact The other stupid countries are not realizing that India is a big market for them. If they make friendly relation, they are the gainers. इतना बड़ा मार्केट किस देश को मिलेगा बताओ? 140 देश, 40 करोड़ लोग. It is equivalent to almost 50 countries. You understand? Those people are doing that wrong thing. Then we have to show them the result. No, करो बहिष्कार करो, यही लेते हैं आज हम. 15 अगस्त 2025 का नियम, कॉन्शियसली वी अवॉइड ऑल फॉरेन मेड गुड्स. डोंट गो फॉर दैट एन्चेंटमेंट और एनी ऑफ दोस लग्जरीज. नहीं चाहिए, बस नहीं चाहिए. अब देखोगे फिर सबका अपने औकात पे आ जाएंगे. दिस इज व्हाट रियल भारत देशभक्ति. अब भाई आज के दिन सब ऑफिस में झंडा फहराया, छुट्टी दे दी, घर जाके भोग किया और सिनेमा देखा. इज दैट द फ्रीडम सेलिब्रेशन? इंडिपेंडेंस डे? नहीं. मैं तो कहता हूँ आज इंडिया में इन एवरी स्कूल कॉलेज ऑफिस पीपल शुड थिंक, कीपिंग अवे देयर ऑफिशियल वर्क, एज टू व्हाट दे कैन डू फॉर द नेशन. मैं कहता हूँ वो रियल एफर्ट. राइट. वंदे भारत मातरम, जननी जन्मभूमिश्च स्वर्गादपि गरीयसी. ओम 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 सहनावतु. ओम नमो ब्रह्मादिभ्यो. ओम यैरिमे गुरुभिः पूर्वं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं निधये सर्वविद्यानां श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम्. ओम गुरुपुंगव पुंगव केतनते ब्रह्मानंदं परमसुखदं परब्रह्मणे श्रुतिमात्रे. तेषां सर्वेषां कृपानुग्रहेण उपनिषदुक्तब्रह्मात्मैक्यबोधेन मोक्षप्राप्त्यर्थं सनातनधर्मस्य विश्वव्याप्त्यर्थम् अनेकशास्त्रादीनाम् अध्ययन साधना प्रयत्नमध्ये कृष्णयजुर्वेदीय श्वेताश्वतरोपनिषदः आद्य शंकर भाष्य समेत अध्ययन साधना प्रयत्न मोक्षार्थम वयं सर्वे करिष्यामहे. ओम नित्यानंदं निराधारं निखिलाधारम् अव्ययम् निगमाद्यगतं नित्यं नीलकण्ठं नमाम्यहम्. पारायणम् अथ षष्ठोऽध्यायः. Chant the mantras 10 and 11 and 12. Om यस्तन्तु नाव इव तन्तुभिः प्रधानजैः स्वभावतः देव एकः स्वमावृणोत स नो ददात् ब्रह्माप्ययम्. एको देवः सर्वभूतेषु गूढः सर्वव्यापी सर्वभूतान्तरात्मा कर्माध्यक्षः सर्वभूताधिवासः साक्षी चेता केवलो निर्गुणश्च एको वशी निष्क्रियाणां बहूनाम् एकं बीजं बहुधा यः करोति तमात्मस्थं येन पश्यन्ति धीराः तेषां सुखं शाश्वतं नेतरेषाम्. So we have done our Parayanam. Let us do our Adhyanam of Mantra Sankhya 3. Second, we saw sufficiently exhaustively, I feel. And it was required also because in that the Adhisthana Brahma Mahatmya was very vividly told. Yo yonim yonim aditishthati, yo ekaha, yo vishwani rupani aditishthati, yo yonisha sarvaha aditishthati, yaha ऋषिम प्रसूतम कपिलम अग्रे प्रसूतम कपिलम जायमानम पश्येत, as well as yaha ज्ञानैर विभर्ति. And this information's consequence in our understanding how it should be, we have tried to explain yesterday along with the Bhashya. And main gist outcome was with the upadhis what is seen. Seeing that and forgetting the substratum is samsara avidya. With all the upadhis, whatever we see, through all of them, going beyond all of them, the ability to see the substratum is called as spirituality. Seeing what we are, what is seeable through indriyas and believing it quickly is everybody's possibility. It's a very gross and very samsara it is. और जो दिखा वही सत्य मानकर जीना, उसमें कोई महिमा नहीं है ना? जो दिख रहा है उसके पीछे क्या है और जो देख रहा है उसके पीछे क्या है, उसको ढूंढना, दैट इज व्हाट इज द ग्लोरी ऑफ ह्यूमन बीइंग, ऑफ द ह्यूमन इंटेलेक्ट. Upanishads guide us in that. They tell us play in the projected, but don't get lost in the projected. And they tell us this is done when you know the substratum and abide in the substratum. Abide in the substratum and play in the projected, not the projected taken as real and you get lost in it and also forget substratum. We have to understand Upanishads in this language. है ना? You can see the flavor of our Sanatan Dharma, कैसे वो हमारे दृष्टि को उस अधिष्ठान के तरफ ले जा रहा. यह that Paramatma. And it is a Upanishadic language that we have to understand in our today's language. Subject is same to be understood, that day or this day. Language may change. The way of explaining may change. But what is explained and told is always same. Okay? Kimcha, further the glory of this Paramatma Tattva. Remember, in the introduction to this chapter 5, Sambandha Bhashya, Shankara Bhagavan told us that whatever is incomplete in the immediately preceding fourth chapter and whatever is not yet said in the entire Upanishad, they are being told in the fifth chapter. जहां तक कहा उसको आगे बढ़ाते हुए और जो नहीं कहा उसको कहने के लिए. So therefore, in this, the additional inputs given to us to understand the glory of that Paramatma Tattva. Are we serious? Are we sincere? Are we attentive? Are we truly interested? Big questions there and valid questions. That all proves our sincerity of being Adhyatmic Sadhak. And it has to be felt by each one of us from within themselves. So let me study these Upanishads with Bhashya deeply. Let me get engrossed in in those understandings. Let me make the goal of realizing that experience and let me follow all the means seriously, scrupulously, sincere. ये वाला हमारा कमिटमेंट होना चाहिए. Now the chant the mantra number 3 twice. Then we'll see the literal meaning. Then we go to the bhashya. The mantra is एकैकं जालं बहुधा विकुर्वन् अस्मिन् क्षेत्रे संहरत्येष देवः भूयः सृष्ट्वा पतयस्तथेशः सर्वाधिपत्यं कुरुते महात्मा. Again, एकैकं जालं बहुधा विकुर्वन् अस्मिन् क्षेत्रे संहरत्येषः भूयः सृष्ट्वा पतयस्तथेशः सर्वाधिपत्यं कुरुते महात्मा. This one shloka can be discussed for 7 days. So much of the important necessary information is given in it. We won't do that much. We'll see the literal meaning and then we go into the bhashyartha. And remaining is at your own home, in your comfortable house, with your own freedom. You can ponder over it. You can think of it. In fact, I am to praying for myself that beyond the classes, between the classes also, let the mind be deeply engrossed, mind intellect, in the contemplation of the truth through the Upanishadic mantras. May this habit come to us. And may the energy required, inspiration required, planning required may come to us. Merely make a row. Because I cannot ask for you what you want. How can I bind you, block you? You may want to become the Pradhana Mantri of Mongolia. No, I cannot stop it. No, what you want to become. So I can pray for myself. Isn't it? कोई देश का कुछ बनना चाहते हो तो मैं थोड़ी मना करूं. But I say to myself that more expansive, deeper contemplation on the truth, necessarily possible only through the Upanishads, should happen throughout the day. Now in this mantra Sat, Third, the glory of Paramatma Tattva. देखो, first and foremost, एषः देवः, the supreme reality. एषः देवः. What is his role? What is his play? How is he working? How is he functional? What is he doing? कुछ भी प्रश्न जिस भी तरह का हो, his glory is said. What is it? एकम जालम, one mesh, है ना? वेब्स एकैकम जालम, बहुधा जालम विकुर्वन्. See the subtlety in the Upanishadic mantras. That few words they say, but it contains so many. है ना? Ekaikam jalam, you can talk it as each of these species. है ना? Each of the species, ekaikam. And in that, so many specimen is called as bahudha. So the whole human species is one jalam. And in human beings, so many varieties are there, bahudha. Again Pashu, another ekaikam. And so many Pashus. Again Pakshi Samoha, ekaikam. Again in that bahudha. So too, the Yaksha, Kinnara, Kimpurusha, Siddha, Charana, Gandharva, Devata, then the Naga, itne sare, they're called ekaikam. And in ekaikam, then bahuda, so many. And within that so many, vikurvan, that none of them remain the same, they all go through the vikara. Modification. Vikara means not remaining the same, going through the modifications. So ekaikam and bahuda vikurvan. We will see more in with the bhashya. Ekaikam jalam bahuda and vikurvan. Asmin kshetre means on this whole universal field. Asmin means this jagat kshetra. Is jagan namaka kshetra mein Bhagwan has made so many jalam, and each jala so many variety, and in that so many of bahuda. Vikurvan, modification. Isn't it? Even in the microbial level also, how many bacteria variety are there? How many fungi variety are there? Virus variety are there? Ekaikam. And each of these be attentive. Upadhis are jalam. It is a snare, it's a net, in which the jivas can get bound by their choice. They can put their efforts to come out. है ना? भगवान इज लाइक अ हंटर. वो जाल उसने फेंका, हंटर ने. अब पक्षी को अकल नहीं है तो फंस गया हूं, है कि नहीं? अकल है तो चला जाता है. इसमें ओनली वन थॉट आई विल शेयर टुडे टू सेव द टाइम. याद रखो, ये वेरी मिलियन डॉलर थॉट. यू कैन गो होम एंड कॉन्टेम्पलेट ऑन इट मोर डिटेल. व्हाट इज इट? पक्षी को अकल नहीं है इसलिए वो जाल में फंस गया. नो, इट इज द अदर वे अराउंड. व्हाट इज इट? अकल नहीं है इसलिए वो पक्षी बना, इसलिए वो जाल में फंस गए. And always you have the freedom to get the akal and don't get caught up in the snare. We are not using that freedom to get the akal. That akal is given to us through shastras. Akal means buddhi, jnanam. We are not gaining jnanam, therefore we are becoming pakshi, therefore we are caught up in the snares thrown by Paramatma only. Bhagwan only jal phasa, jal dal rahe, maya jalam. Maya jalam is by the Lord only. But he never told that it's compulsory for all of you to be bound. If that's the case, he would have not given us intellects, nor he would have given us gurus and shastras and satsanga and jnanam. अगर भगवान ने दिया, उनको यूज करके फिर जाल में मत फंसो. ठीक है? सो अस्मिन् क्षेत्रे एकैकं जालम बहुधा then vikurvan. Then what is he doing? Each of these jalams again samharati eshah devaha. The same Lord is doing the samhara also of all of them. At the micro level, each individual, at the macro level. है ना? At the macro level, whole cosmic level में आप देखोगे तो, right? अब मैं क्या एग्जाम्पल्स दूं आपको? इतना एग्जाम्पल दूंगा. एट दिस वेरी मोमेंट, in one place or the other in the whole globe, वन पर्सन डाइड, कोई मरा है अभी इसी पल में, इधर ए ह्यूमन बीइंग और एन एनिमल, नाश होता है कि नहीं? एवरीबडी, एवरी मोमेंट somebody is dying. नाशयति, I'm explaining. Even at the cosmic level also in the universe, somewhere one whole planet also is getting dissolved. So one solar system also is getting dissolved and the new one is also born. Because this अनंत अखंड विश्व में हमारे अनजाने में कितने हो रहे हैं, हमको अपने घर में क्या हो रहा है नहीं पता. हमारी अकल इज सो मच, अकड़ बहुत है. Ego is so much, intelligence is very small. So I am telling you, samharateshaha means individual भी, total भी, वो संहार करते. Like I told you, one person died today. There is one whole family of birds died one day, today at one place. होता है वो, एक पूरे जात के पक्षी पूरे मर गए. Samharati I am explaining. So it is in his leela, it's all happening. So ekaikam jalam bahuda vikuruhan asmin kshetre eshah devah samharati. Then bhuyah sruštva. Again he creates. And whom he creates? Patayaha. He creates the pati. Pati means the ruling various divine expressions. He only creates them. And through them he gets the work done at the mass level, micro level. So all the pati means the prajapatis, the rishis, munis, etc. One set for one earth, one solar system. Like that, millions of millions, he goes on creating. Bhuya sruštva patayah tata ishaha. Now the conclusion is what? Sarva adhipatyam kurute mahatma. He is the only Mahatma who is the Adhipati for everything, and he proves his Adhipatya in this way by creating Prajapatis and through them creating the whole universe at the micro and macro level. And he also brings the modification in them, Vikrute, and finally he does the Samhara also. And while all this is happening, he is intact. Now, our job is whether to identify with all this or to identify with him. Whether to forget him and get lost in it, or whether to slowly devalue all those things and get identified with him, get in contact with him. That's what is the Upanishadic guidance here. That feeling of the sentence, Sarvadipatyam Kurute Mahatma, that Parabrahman is the Mahatma. He is the one who is the Adhipati for everything. Isn't it? Without that Satchidananda Brahma, what can exist in this world? इफ द रूप नाम का एग्जिस्टेंस ही नहीं है तो फिर इसका मॉडिफिकेशन कहाँ होगा? फॉर समथिंग टू एग्जिस्ट, फॉर समथिंग टू मॉडिफाई, इवन फॉर दैट थिंग, इवन टू डिस्ट्रॉय और डिसॉल्व, द सबस्ट्रेटम इज रिक्वायर्ड. मयि एव सकलम जातम, मयि सर्वम प्रतिष्ठितम, मयि सर्वम लयम याति, तद ब्रह्मात्मा, तद ब्रह्मास्वयम अस्मि हम, तद ब्रह्मास्मि अद्वयम अहम. In yesterday's class, in our Brahmanuchintanam, and same in the Kaivalya Upanishad also. So in this mantra, that is the load, that's the meaning of each of the word. Now tomorrow we'll study with Bhashyam and see what should be the consequence of this mantra in our understanding. Two things. One is respectfully, reverentially, we have to acknowledge the presence of the totality, the Ishvara, the Brahma. Second, we have to commit to bring our identity with him. These two should be the consequences of this mantra dhenam. Let us see tomorrow. Om 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 Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om. Shri Gurubhyo Parabrahmane Parabrahmane SHRUTHIMATRE Namaha Tat Sat Brahmarpanamastu. That's great. Let us study Gita for some time. Please join.